Hi folks, welcome to the preparedhomestead.com. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, this is probably going to be the last morning video that it's this nice. Not the last morning video, but last morning video that it's this nice. It's hovering right now around the freezing mark. Today is supposed to be really nice. They're talking about even hitting 50 degrees this afternoon. And then it all starts changing. Tonight, temperatures are going to drop. Wind and rain blow in, switching over to snow. Tomorrow morning be a much colder morning to start off with. Kind of a nasty day, it looks like. And then by Saturday and Sunday, well, everything changes. Saturday night into Sunday morning, we're talking negative temperatures. The high Sunday, maybe 10 degrees if we're lucky. And then overnight Sunday, we're talking like wind chills of negative 25, negative 10 actual temperatures. Pretty cold and miserable. All in totaled up, it looks like through Saturday and Sunday, we could get anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of snow with all that cold weather and wind. They're talking like 30, 40 mile an hour winds with all of that. So it's about to get kind of nasty. So kind of enjoying the nice weather this morning today, and got several things around here on the homestead trying to wrap up just to make sure. I mean, if we couldn't do anything, I think all the animals and stuff would be okay, but we're just doing a little extra just to make sure. Well, this isn't the video topic, but I'm just going to throw this out there because I know some of you find it a little interesting. New York Post is reporting this morning that there's video footage of 10-foot tall aliens walking around in Brazil. I watched the footage. You know, it's like all of them. It's blurry. It's from off in a distance. They're walking along this mountainous ridge, and I mean, it looks like it could be. The local news is reporting that it was just some really tall basketball players walking through the woods. But it's, you know, who knows? And the fact is that there's major news outlets that are covering it. A lot of people talking about it. What I find interesting is that over the last 6 months, 12 months, we've been seeing quite a bit more, not of your typical alien encounters that, you know, many of us grew up hearing about and laughing about when we were younger, but this is different. Is there some type of, you know, planned exposure coming out, blue beam trying to manipulate people, or are we really in the last days where, you know, this kind of stuff could certainly be happening and they're not necessarily aliens? At least not in the typical sense. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there because it's been happening more often, it seems, lately. With the thing down in Miami, there was one in, Las Vegas several months back. There was some down in, I think it was Guatemala. It's been interesting, and it seems to be different, like I said, than what we're typically used to seeing. You know, when all the people that get abducted by aliens. And I think that there's probably some kind of narrative being played out here. I just want to remind you that my private membership area, yes, it's all exclusive and secret, not really. You can go to the link below. I'll try to keep it in the comment section pinned there. It's just $3 a month, but that's where you get kind of the more personal information about, you know, what we're doing, and separate, completely different videos. It's more of a, it's just different. It's a little different. Try to make it over there. So you can go check that out if you're interested. It's completely free speech. I can say what I want over there, and I don't have to worry about getting censored. Inflation numbers came out this morning, and surprise, surprise, it doesn't look that good. Inflation went up, I think it's 0.3% is what they're saying, which was unexpected according to all of the experts. I really don't care though, because it's all lies. It's all manipulated. I mean, these numbers, 3.9%, 3.4%, we know it's all bull hockey, right? We know that's what it is, because those are not the real numbers. Those aren't the real inflation numbers. Inflation is much higher than that. Just about everything that you look at, inflation is very close or well above double digits. And this 3.4, 3.9% is it's bunk, okay? But they got to put that out there to Well, they're trying to milk the system. They're trying to get a little bit more juice out of the turnip, and so that's basically, I think, what's going on there. But fact is that the economy, the dollar, all that's not doing so good. The first of this year, January 1st, several new nations joined the BRICS, and you should know what BRICS is. I shouldn't have to explain that to you, but big ones, Egypt and Saudi Arabia and the UAE and several others joined the BRICS nations bloc. Well, since then, it's been announced that about 30 more nations are lining up. They want to be part of this. And we're watching this great global divide play out, not just in matters of war, but also in matters of the economy and currency. And we're watching all of these kind of Eastern Bloc nations, I guess you could say, kind of line up together. And the unfortunate thing is, for the rest of the world, is that most of the people that are lining up in this little BRICS nation pack, well, they control most of the world's natural resources. The vast majority of oil and rare earth minerals and many other essential things that we need for energy and manufacturing are all controlled by BRICS, or at least a large part. And so we're also watching that happen and play out, along with debasing of the US dollar, which is, again, that's really significant. And I wonder, and I worry, because if this is true, I've played a part in this, is that over the last year or two, there's been so much talk about the devaluation of the US dollar, and the whole world stop using it, and Russia and China and Saudi Arabia and oil, and no longer petrodollar, all this kind of stuff, that so many times, and it's possible that people have just gotten tired of it. They're not concerned with it anymore. And they're focused on all this other stuff, which is also important. But I'm telling you, this could be the kingpin that brings everything down. There's a lot of people that believe that the devaluation of the US dollar, the de-dollarization of the world's economy, will be the thing that kind of really brings us down to our knees. And that's where the vast majority of U.S.'s power has come from, is the fact that our currency has been used all across the world for virtually all trade. I mean, yes, it was predominantly in the oil industry, but really most all trade is done in U.S. dollars. And that puts us in a position as a country to go into debt. You've got all these other countries out there. They're using our currency, so they're buying our debt to use our currency, which is what's allowed us, right or wrong, to go into $34 trillion in debt. That's, in case you didn't know, it's $34 trillion now. But that's all stopping. It's at least it's slowing down. Less and less of the world is buying our debt. In fact, places like Japan and China, they've been dumping U.S. dollars. They're the two biggest ones. And so that's significant right there. And the more that happens, the more significant of a burden this $34 trillion in debt is, because the world isn't buying it anymore, and it's more difficult for us to print it, and because of that, it loses value. And that translates down to you and I as our dollars become more and more worthless. We enter into a type of hyperinflation to where our dollars just don't buy as much. It takes a lot more of them. We've seen this in other countries in recent times, Argentina, Venezuela, and many other countries where, before it may have only cost you $3 or $4 to buy a loaf of bread, and now it costs $10, $20, $100, $1,000. That is very likely the direction this country is faced. If you just look at over the last few years, the price increases have gone really through the roof, especially when you add the shrinkflation, where most items today in the store, the packaging is different and the amounts are less than what they would have been 3 or 4 years ago. That's just another form of quiet inflation, folks. They're sneaking it by you, so they're shrinking down the packages and they're increasing the prices. And when you add that together, it's a pretty significant increase in what you're paying for the same product, which is a form of inflation, or hyperinflation even. We are definitely going down this path, and I don't see that there's anything that's going to fix it. I know that there's, well, the stock market, it's doing great. Oh, well, there's Bitcoin, and wow, that's great. And I mean, they're trying to bonds are this and that, and folks, we're $34 trillion in debt. There's no possible way. There's no possible way to repay that. There's no possible way to pay that off. And so the only thing to do is well, to reset everything and start off at zero. And the way to reset that could look a couple of different ways. It could be a complete collapse into this kind of Venezuelan style destruction, or it could be where they just bring about this digital currency and somehow, some way in the middle of the night wipe everything to zero, but yet say, hey, you've got digital currency now to use. Either way either one of them are horrible, and we have to be prepared for that. I think both are very likely to happen at the same time. And this digital currency that they're pushing, and not just pushing, but it's being done. I mean, stop believing the people that say, well, it may or may not happen, or it could be decades away. No, it's happening. The rest of the world is pushing ahead pretty high speed with it. The United Nations is pushing it. The World Economic Forum is pushing it. The United States is pushing it too, just much quieter and in different ways. But make no mistake about it, it's coming. It's coming at us, and we're going to have to deal with that. And once that happens and our currency is gone and the economy's in ruins, it's going to be a very different world. We're already watching the greatest wealth transfer in history. We've watched the middle class almost completely dry up. We've watched the poor get a lot poorer, and we've watched the ultra wealthy increase their wealth into the billions and billions of dollars. This is going to continue to happen and throw everyone into this equality of poverty, so that we have to depend upon the government. I mean, that's really their end goal is to make everyone dependent. And then they can control us. Then they can say, well, we don't need this many people, so let's get rid of them with this certain thing. Or we don't need everyone having nice homes and properties and stuff, so let's all stick them in these, little pod houses in some mega smart cities. I know this sounds like some kind of sci-fi dystopian, crazy book, but it's actually true, and it's the things that they very directly say. We have to get ready for this kind of stuff. As the economy worsens and the shipping gets worse and the immigration problem at the border is just pouring in, it's all just falling apart, and it's falling apart according to their plan. And you and I need to get ready for it and stop just, well, yeah, it's bad. Well, we need to be doing something about it. And the best thing that we can be doing is just getting ourselves prepared, stocking up. Like I said yesterday, train like you're hated, because it's true. We're hated. And if you didn't watch that video yesterday, I encourage you to go back and watch it, because that's exactly what we should be doing. We need to be getting our houses in order. We need to be building up strong communities around us so that we can help each other and depend on each other and work outside of the system. That's about the best way, I think, right now for us to defeat this or to overcome it, is to just try to work outside the system. And that's going to come through getting yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared in your home, in your community, your person, your family, everything. We need to be doing this now because it's unraveling, folks. It is unraveling. And the only reason it doesn't seem to be such a desperate point right now is because it's so big. And so it's going to take a while for the unraveling to become really noticed. But it will get there. And we need to be ready for when that happens. Folks, you know what you need to be doing. You need to be getting yourselves prepped, getting yourselves ready, getting yourselves in that kind of state of readiness because of what's happening. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.